You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Bold fans. Belinda from Soap Dirt here, and I want to chat about Poppy Nozawa's sudden change in attitude that's pretty much, to my eyeballs, a slap in the face attitude towards Katie Logan. Are we finally seeing Poppy's true colors, the things that her sister Lee Finnegan tried to warn people about? Let's chat about this, but hey, please click that subscribe button if you have not done so. All right, so I was stunned on the Wednesday episode of Bold and the Beautiful on June the 12th when Poppy essentially told Katie, get out of my house. I can see that Katie probably should have knocked at the door instead of just waltzing into Bill Spencer's house. Yes, he is her ex-husband a couple of times over, I think, and the father of her only child. But now that Bill has a girlfriend living there, let's be clear, knocking is a good idea, and Katie knew all that before she came there. So I will give Katie a little criticism for that. Because, you know, what if Poppy and Bill were getting busy on the couch because they were home alone? That's not something his ex-wife needs to walk in on from either end of the exchange. So yeah, they definitely need to set up some boundaries. Maybe Bill needs to ask for the key back, but she didn't even use the key. She just walked in the unlocked door. But aside from that, just baseline, Poppy was pretty rude to Katie. She basically said, Bill's not here, so you need to go. And then she even added to it, insult to injury. And when he is home, he didn't want to spend time with you. He wants to spend time with me and our daughter, you know? Yowza. That was just kind of my takeaway from that. And yeah, Bill absolutely does want to make up for lost time with Luna. And he said that several times. But that doesn't mean he's cutting his only other LA-based baby mama out of his life. Why would he? I don't think Bill would have approved of the way that Poppy talked to Katie. You never know with Dollar Bill, but I just don't think he would have liked that vibe. And I think he would have made it clear, Katie's always welcome in my house. She's the mother of my son. I do notice that Poppy didn't pull any of this power move stuff in front of Luna, you know? Luna doesn't seem to have a rude bone in her body, but Poppy was basically marking her territory. She might go out in the front yard and just pee around the shrubs later, you know, like a male dog. I mean, realistically, being polite, Poppy could have offered Katie to stay and wait on Bill. You know, maybe check and see if he's coming home. Is he going to be home in 20 minutes? Sure, stay. If it's going to be 4 hours from now, okay, let her know that. Offer Katie a glass of water, a cup of coffee. But then it got worse. Poppy started talking about how she had so much to do at the house because it really needed a woman's touch. That kind of felt like a slam. Is that the same house Katie lived in? I mean, I think so. It looks like it. So I can see Katie circling right back around to talk to Lee Finnegan. I mean, I think, and a lot of you guys think, I've seen in the comments and on social media, have thought over the past many months since Poppy first showed up in LA that Lee was being unreasonably angry and rude and suspicious and insulting towards her sister Poppy. She kept talking about Poppy being a gold digger, but you know, we weren't seeing any of that. I will say that when Poppy roofied Luna with her medicated mints, I kind of started to get an inkling of where Lee was coming from. And let's be real, Poppy might have been running a long game. Maybe she came to LA knowing that's where Bill Spencer was, pretty sure that he was the baby daddy and has been running a long con. That would match more with what Lee has suspected. And then when Lee showed up at Bill's house to stop the paternity test, mentioning that Poppy's box was pre-opened, I was still like, okay, that seems still like a lot of anger. Because, you know, some of these at-home tests have very complicated instructions. I've used some at-home tests. Like I have one for UTIs. You pee in a cup, dip the thing in, and it's very easy. It's like a color thing. But then when my husband and I were sick, like last year, we did in-home COVID test, and he was sicker than me. So I'm like reading all these instructions, and it felt like I was back in my college chemistry lab. It was like all this stuff, pinch this, move that, do this, don't do this. And I still screwed up the test, or the test screwed up, because it came out negative and we were definitely sick with COVID. Anyway, I could let the open test slide in case she wanted to read all the instructions. That kind of makes sense. But the moment Bill found out he was Luna's dad and asked them both to move in, that seemed to trigger something in Poppy. Maybe she wasn't gold digging before, maybe she was. We don't know what her whole plan was, because she hasn't seemed to have had a job since she was in LA. I don't know how she's paying for that apartment. And, she's been with Bill for a while now and jumped right in the sack with him on their first date. So I don't know. Maybe her sister's right. Poppy sure latched onto Bill and his mansion very fast right after that test came back, for somebody who said she's happy, being a go with the flow, non-materialistic chick. Luna thinks of her mom as kind of a hippie, a free spirit, yada, yada, yada. Side note, by the way, did Bold and the Beautiful's costume department get Luna's outfit from a Star Trek memorabilia sale? It looks very, working on the deck of the USS Enterprise. That outfit she's had on for 5 episodes, 8 episodes. It's very Trekky to me, or maybe a sci-fi flight attendant. I don't know. Not loving it. They still won the Creative Arts Emmy for costuming, though, just by the way, on night 2 of the Daytime Emmys this past weekend. So I suspect Katie and Lee might put their heads together and decide that despite Luna being Bill's kid, Poppy's not the woman for him. I'm interested to see, fast forward a couple of weeks from now, will Poppy go from that boho casual vibe, with her vintage store look, which I love, that's fine, to dressing in high fashion, Forrester Creations outfits with Bill's platinum card, probably not even a platinum card. He's probably got one of those Amex black cards with no limit, with that card in her hand. I mean, he won't care. He's rich. He wants to spoil them both, but definitely a red flag that we need to be watching for. And Poppy's awful attitude towards Katie was what I feel like are going to be the first of many red flags to come. Let me know what you guys think. Was Poppy in the right, since she's the new lady of the manor? Or was she unspeakably rude to Katie, slapping at her like that? And we're finally seeing Poppy's true colors that Lee has been warning everybody about ever since her sister came to Los Angeles. Let me know what you guys think, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and come back soon. We are here talking Bold and Beautiful 7 days a week. And as always, I'm your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.